Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's AJ and happy terrific Tuesday. Whoop whoop. As you guys can see, it's a change of scenery. You might get this pretty often or at least occasionally. So yeah, I'm in the car making my morning runs, but I'm trying to get this, I have to prioritize and I want to get these videos out to you guys. So yeah, you're gonna get some videos of me in a car, probably in different locations, etc., etc. Anyway, hopefully you've already started your morning off on a great note. Hopefully you've done some scripting, made some time for that. And hopefully, if you haven't already done so, you're currently thinking about the 10 things that you're grateful for today and coming up with 10 positive affirmations about yourself. And you can write these down. You can, repeat them in your head throughout the day. You can put a note on your phone and have it pop up as a reminder throughout the day so you can repeat it and you can be reminded about the great stuff in life because, you got to be grateful for the things that you have before you can get more. So, 2 weeks ago, I keep forgetting. I want to say last week so bad, but last week I was MIA. So 2 weeks ago, I spoke on, our stress levels, and we took inventory on our stress levels, and I got on one coping mechanism, which was breathing. I specifically waited, not the additional week, but I wanted to wait a few days in between breathing in this video because I wanted you guys to kind of get used to the breathing practices before you practice meditation, because I want you to see the difference that the breathing techniques will have for you. So if you haven't already watched those videos, that video, those videos, because I want you to take inventory of your stress levels first and then practice the breathing techniques. So I will post links below to those videos. And so hopefully the breathing techniques have worked for you. I know specifically the cool breath has worked for me several times because, not only is it cooling for your body and your mind and your system, but, it's kind of weird doing it whenever you're pissed off. Like, it's a little funny if you could just laugh at the small things in life and find joy. So, disclaimer, y'all getting me without makeup, no eyebrows, none of that stuff. I'm out here running errands. I woke up late, didn't have time to get ready for real. But it's not how I look, it's the message that I give. Also, I'm about to go get my nails done, so judge me not. Even if you do, I don't really care. Like I said, it's the message that I'm giving. So, meditation. I want you to realize that you can do this when you're stressed, but also use this as a preventative measure to not get stressed in the first place. So I'm going to give you guys a few, pointers and tips from my personal experience and what works for me. Now, you have to take everything into account when I tell you guys things, that these are things that work for me personally. And sometimes you have to find your way, because I hear a lot of things. I consume a lot of information. That is like a constant thing for me. I constantly consume information, and not everything that everybody does is gonna work for me. It's people out here that I like, some of their rituals I follow to a T, okay? And then some of it is like, nah, that ain't gonna work for me. So, figure out what works for you. Try different methods. I would suggest like trying things like 3 days at a time, because day one, you're probably not gonna at least consciously realize the effects that it's having on you. Day two is like, okay, I feel a little better, I guess. Maybe it's just a good day. You can attribute it to chance, or you can attribute it to the meditation. Day three, you're like, okay, I think this is working. So I want you to at least try the different methods in 3 day spurts, minimum 3 day spurts. So, the method that I have learned that works best for me is called the Ziva technique. This comes from a woman named Emily Fletcher. And in previous books, I've talked about her. Actually, I think in the breathing technique video, I spoke about her as well. But Emily Fletcher, Stress Less, Accomplish More. That's the name of her book. And I found this to be the most productive meditation for me personally. So I want to kind of divulge in the different techniques, because meditation was not all that rewarding for me at the beginning when I started this. You know, I've tried meditation off and on for years. When I was younger, I was more successful with it. And then as I got older, I kind of lost my way. But I also attribute that to when I was younger, I was way more in tune with myself. And, you know, I had some trials and tribulations, and then I started drinking more, and I was doing all this other stuff that I didn't have any business doing, just to kind of fog my mind. So I was lost. I lost the essence of myself for a long time, and I'm starting to gain that back. So that's what I contribute that to. But I would say don't always consider meditation as silencing your mind. Now, there are types of meditation that'll tell you, you know, try to silence your mind. Don't have any thoughts, or, you know, but remember, resistance creates persistence. So the more you try to fight your natural brain thoughts, the more they're going to pop up, and the more strongly they're going to keep trying to pop into your head. So I found myself being really unsuccessful, or what I consider unsuccessful, at meditation, because I would try and fight thoughts, and then I'm thinking about what I'm about to eat after I'm done meditating. Then I'll eat an hour before meditation just to stop that thought. Then it's I gotta do this tomorrow, or, you know, later on, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Oh, yada. I'm sleepy, you know, stuff like that. And I used to get so frustrated, fuck, dude, I can't silence my mind. How do people do this? But what I've come to realize is, from my understanding and my experience, that's for more experienced meditators. And that's when you could start, you know, going into different variants of meditation, if you will. But to get the basics down, to truly get the basics down, the Ziva technique has worked wonders for me. So she tells you to meditate twice a day for 15 minutes. It's non-negotiable. Make it non-negotiable. Just like you waking up and, you know, putting on your clothes for the day, or taking a shower, or brushing your teeth is non-negotiable, make meditation non-negotiable. And it's to the point where if you find yourself running late in the morning a lot, like people like me, then you have to wake up earlier. You just have to. You have to make the time to do this. Because honestly, after I will say about, on average, 2 weeks, from what I've read and what I've seen through other people in my personal experience, on average, there's a detox period. And in the detox period, you kind of feel shitty. You do. And, you know I just said the 3-day period, but it depends on where you're at, especially emotionally. If you've already handled most of your emotional baggage, then you should be fine. Your detox period may be a day, it may be minor, you know, but if you have a lot of emotional baggage, or pent up aggression, or, you know, trauma, PTSD, anything of that nature that you've been trying to suppress, or that you haven't confronted head on, then it's gonna come out. It's going to come out. So you need to be prepared for this. The Ziva technique is very powerful, and I'm going to go into minor details, but I don't want to tell all of her information. I just will kind of give you an overview, because one, I don't know if that's some kind of copyright infringement, or, you know, if I'm violating. I don't want to get my video taken off of YouTube for telling her methods. Two, Also, I just urge you to read the book because there are so many case studies. There's so much useful information that is way too much information for me to repeat in this video. So, again, I highly promote Audible because I listen to audiobooks all the time. I literally just paused an audiobook to record this. So, Audible, or if you're, if you have the time and the dedication to read a book, a paper physical book, then go ahead and do so. Definitely do so. I highly urge you to. So, you have to take into account the detox period, and the detox period can consist of anything from bad moods, breakouts, mood swings, depression, and I don't want to just like fly by depression. It's real. Like, you can have crying spells that you don't really understand, and you just start crying for like, why am I crying? For what? You can go through a lot of things. Different people, different strokes for different folks. Different people have different stresses, and their body needs to expel that stress in some kind of way. So, however you've been suppressing it's got to come out eventually. And yes, just like a lot of people say it, like doctor's office, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Well, I'll say chiropractors' offices. Yeah, so it gets worse before it gets better. But my God, does it get better? Like, it gets way better. After you like detox all that stress that you've been holding in and everything, it's like the world gets brighter, life gets better. You don't pay attention to the trivial things because you start looking at the grand scheme of things. Little things don't stress you out anymore. You manage and you cope better, and you live in the present moment. And that's one thing that Emily Fletcher talks about in her book too, because most meditation techniques that I've personally tried before are more so mindfulness practices. And there's a difference between mindfulness and meditation, and she goes more into depth about the differences and whatnot. But mindfulness, although extremely beneficial, it takes more skill. So that's another reason why I kind of say, like, you want to kind of save the keeping your thoughts at bay thing for a more, a higher level after you get some experience under your belt. So, meditation, though, is being in the present moment. And, she'll start you off with mindfulness to get you present. You got to take in all five senses, all five apparent senses rather. And, you kind of got to take all of that in at once, and you go through them one by one, and then you take them all in at once. And then after you get that feeling like, okay, I'm here, I'm experiencing the present now, then she gives you a mantra. And you don't repeat this out loud. You don't do any chanting or anything like that. You just kind of you start the mantra in your head, and it's one word. And then you say that, and she deliberately picks mantras. Now, she has the generic one in her book. I won't say it's generic per se, but it's deliberately picked. It's very intentional, and it's like a sound therapy, even though you say it internally. It's some kind of science behind the word. So she picks that word in the book, but she also has online courses, and in those she gives you a larger range of mantras to use based on your personal experiences. And then she has personal courses in New York and California, and then that way, if you go there, then she'll give you like a personal mantra based on your personalized life and situation. So, but you start the mantra, and then you do that for about 14 minutes or 13 minutes rather, and then the last minute, or no, 12 minutes, I'm sorry, because the last 2 minutes you spend manifesting. And it's a reason why it's set up like that. You manifest better, when I was speaking about binaural beats, you manifest better in theta. And meditation puts you directly in theta. And so that's why it's so important at the end of your meditation that you start manifesting exactly what you want. And then because you're in that present moment, because you just focused that whole time, you're already in theta, and then it gives you more um, it gives you more of the opportunity to feel. And I keep stressing that feeling and emotion behind what you want to manifest and what you visualize is what makes it real. It's what makes it happen, because it changes your frequency and you start resonating on that frequency on the things that you actually desire. So it all ties in together. Everything I talk about ties in together. But I definitely highly suggest this method. Now, there are other methods, and with her method, you sit down with your back supported but not your head. That kind of stops you from going to sleep too. And she speaks about like deep meditation. If you get really good at that, sometimes you can go into bliss mode. And in bliss mode, I also spoke about delta. Now, delta is when you go into like deep sleep or deep meditation. And this is it. Like, that's the bliss mode. The bliss field, that's what she calls it. And you'll slide right into the bliss field, and you're almost unconscious, but you're not all the way. So your body is still up supporting yourself. You haven't fallen out or going to sleep, but you don't consciously remember. You kind of nod off, and you're just like, it's amazing. I've done it once. I've been in the bliss field once, and it was amazing. And I snapped out of it like, oh shit, I did it. And I was still in meditation mode though, so I'm like hella excited, trying to calm down and say my mantra again. And like, oh man, it was lit. It was lit. So yeah, doing that technique has helped me in my manifestation tremendously. Like I said, I can manifest stuff within like a 24-hour time period, and usually within hours. So now that's for like small and I guess mid-size manifestation things. As far as the larger things, I'm still working on that, so I'll keep y'all posted on that. There's general meditation. So there are different poses you can take. You could do the cross-legged. You sit at the 90-degree angle, feet flat on the floor, and usually in a chair, so your head can, or it doesn't have to be supported, but it can be. There are different poses and whatnot, but I highly recommend the Ziva technique. And I'm not getting paid off any of this. I'm just letting y'all know I don't have any sponsorships or any affiliates or anything like that. I'm not an affiliate for any of these people or none of that. I'm just telling you from my personal experience what works best for me. Best believe though, I'm about to be I'm gonna reach out to somebody like can I get some payment? Can I get a little cut of the profits? But no, seriously, like the Ziva technique has worked wonders for me. And you can look up, I always advise everybody to do their own research. Do your research and pick what's best for you. You will have a feeling. You can and trial and error. You can pick something that isn't the best for you, but it's all trial and error, and you find what works best for you, because you can probably Google mantras and do some deep research on the science behind it and probably find your own. That I have not done, because I've been happy with the mantra that she's given me, that she provided in the book rather. So I'm definitely I haven't divulged into that, but I definitely promote that if you don't want to stay in the Ziva technique. But if you do want to stay within the Ziva technique, you got to stick with that mantra, unless you take the online courses, and then you can pick from those curated mantras for you, or the online, or the in-person class or whatever, if you're in New York or California. So yes, some of the benefits that I've experienced, I kind of touched on them throughout the video, but some of the benefits I've experienced, I'm more in tune with people. I can walk into a room and I can almost like, I can look at a person, see their vibe, I can feel their vibe, and now I move with more intention. And you know, I kind of put myself within close proximity of the happier people rather than the more negative people. So that helps a ton for me. Also, I'm more in tune with the atmosphere. Now I see why they said like they had that whole hippie movement and tree huggers and all that stuff, because I am in love with nature now. Like, and that extent of atmosphere, I'm taking it a little further with the nature thing, but I'm seriously in love with nature now. I want to go camping. I'm trying to plan family camping trips and stuff, like, and seeing the science behind being in nature is like, I never knew any of this stuff. Is so amazing. I'll make a video about that one day. But yeah, and I'm more in tune with atmospheres and whatnot. So if I go into a room and it's tense, I feel it immediately. You know, some of us already do that to an extent, but it's more fine-tuned. So, you know, you feel it immediately. There's no lag time, and you know, it gives you better judgment and better clarity on who you want to associate yourself with in those moments, and you know, where you want to be be intentional that's welcoming and not in hostile environments or around hostile people, you know. So you gotta be intentional with that. Also, attracting like-minded people. So, you know, I told you guys I do Lyft on the side, and I also do I do ship shopping, I do DoorDash, I do all those little 1099 independent contractor type jobs. So I've been at least doing Shipped for half a year now, and the other ones have come a little later, more recently or whatnot. But when I tell you, I have been attracting nothing but like-minded people, and the people that, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing but like-minded, mostly like-minded people, but the people that aren't like-minded don't provoke me, or they don't attempt to provoke me like they might with other people. So it's just, it's amazing, and it's kind of weird, and it's mind-blowing at the same time. Like, you want to bring like-minded people or like-spirited people, let's say that, because you want to be around different people with different opinions and different perspectives and different mindsets and stuff as you, but you want to be around like-spirited and like-hearted people. So not light-hearted, like-hearted, similar. So, you know, you may be different, but you guys have a tolerance for each other, where you understand, like, okay, we have differences, but we gain perspectives from each other. We still respect each other. We're still cool, you know, stuff like that. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. And I have been, customers, strangers, all of these great people have been like introduced to me one after the other. I'm making networks behind the scenes, like, and it's been working out in my favor ever since I got that mental clarity from meditation, and I started manifesting and resonating on a different frequency. The people that I'm resonating, the frequency that I'm resonating on, people that are also resonating on that frequency are all like just coming to me. They're just everywhere, like, and it's so amazing. So that's a blessing in itself. You know, I got on the manifesting thing. I manifest things way easier. So that, come on now, that's lovely. Peace. I don't know how many people, I mean, everywhere on the internet it's like somebody telling somebody else to be their peace. Oh, you go home to this, be their peace. Be your own peace. Now granted, yes, be around people that, you know, create peace for you. You don't want to be in a hostile or, you know, terrible, stressful environment. No, by any means. And if you are, cut it loose. But be your own peace. in those chaotic, stressful moments in life, step away, go in if you need to. I'm not a fan of public restrooms. I'm not a fan of most office bathrooms either. But you know, if you gotta meditate in the damn bathroom, then do it. Like, I'm not a fan of the deep breathing in a bathroom. Nah, I'd rather just go outside. So if you have a building, just go outside. Go in your car if you have one. You know, go in the car and meditate or whatever. And with the Ziva technique, that's one thing that I do like. Background noise is not an obstacle. You kind of embrace it as it is, and then you learn it. That has helped me in the long run tune a lot of outside noise out. So when I'm in my head, I'm in my head, and outside noise doesn't take me out of the zone, and I can turn that on and off at will. So when I need to listen to my daughter, yes, I'm still listening and whatnot, but when I know her dad has her and they're in another room or whatever, I know that I can tune out if I need to, and tune back in at will. So that makes sense. But yeah, be your own peace. Be that person. Just step away and meditate. And you know, you could do it in a lunchroom. You could do it. You know, people might think you taking a nap, or people might look at you crazy. But really, fuck them. Like, and I say that in a respectful way. Like, not that their life is trash or don't wish bad on them, but fuck their opinions, dude. Like, for real. Seriously. Do you. Do what's best for you. Because what I've learned, people will make fun of you for the most trivial shit. And for stuff that doesn't make sense to them. It's not meant for them. It's meant for you. And people make fun of all types of successful people when they're going through a struggle, or when they're coming up with something innovative and new, or, you know, unheard of, or, oh, you can't do this, oh, you crazy, or you reaching too far for the stars, and blah, 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 get your head out the clouds, you're a dreamer, all that stuff. But then when they make it, and then they become your Oprahs, your Bill Gates, your Warren Buffetts, all of that stuff, your Beyoncés, you be like, oh, I knew she could do it all along. Oh, I knew he had it in them all along. Oh, yeah, I was a fan from the beginning. Yeah, I knew they had it in them. All this stuff. Or you be like, oh, you know, it's a lucky break. So it's always going to be scrutiny. There's always going to be criticism. There's always going to be people, naysayers, and people who make fun of you. So what? So fucking what? Be your own peace. If you need to de-stress and meditate, well, by golly, do that shit, okay? That's all I gotta say. Like, just do it. Just do it. Don't. Other people's opinions matter so much less to me. And obviously, the opinions of my loved ones matter to me. But it doesn't change my opinion of myself. It doesn't change my viewpoint of myself that greatly. You know, there's a balance between everything. So you definitely want to get the opinions of others, because you could be portraying something about you that you don't even realize that you're acting out subconsciously, and then, you know, you can get negative feedback, constructive criticism, make yourself better, etc., etc. Yes, all of that in play, but be your own peace. Do what you need to do, because you know what's best for you. You are living your life. Nobody else is. Nobody else has the experiences, the memories, the perspective, the anything, the mindset, the brain, the functionality, the genes that you have. So they can have their opinions. That's for them. That's a personal them problem. That's not your problem, and don't make it your problem. You do what's best for you. Period. And patience. Meditation has given me ultimate patience, and I am forever grateful for that, because on the road especially, I had mad road rage back in the day. Like, but then becoming a parent kind of made me conscious of how angry I used to be, and I refuse to just be going off on people on the road while my baby is in the car. That's not gonna happen. So you know, I had to kind of filter myself, and now I'm more cognizant of the things that, you know, I think. And you know, people still piss me off on the road. People drive crazy all the time, and they're inconsiderate as hell. But you know, I know how to cope with that, and then I can do my breathing exercises, or you know, I can just chill out. I know how to cope, and I know how to remain patient, especially in stuff like traffic jams. You can't do nothing about a traffic jam. Like, come on now, you're just sitting there. Learn something. Let's see. You know, again, she does 15-minute sessions, but I've had sessions where they've lasted, meditation sessions that lasted an hour, or a little over an hour. In the middle of the night, I gotta get in my Zen mode sometimes, especially when I'm an insomniac from time to time. I am a huge night owl. I'm completely nocturnal, honestly. This daytime stuff, nah, it ain't for me. Especially this early morning stuff. I'd rather wake up in the afternoon and then complete my things in the evening, and then at night I'm up being a creative or brainstorming and doing what I need to do, and then I like to sleep in the morning. So, but that's a whole other topic. But I usually have, when I'm up and I'm like, okay, I'm done doing my creative things, they're brainstorming or doing what I need to do at night, and I want to get ready to go to sleep, I meditate. Now, the 15-minute meditation sessions, once you get these handled, they'll start to energize you. You won't need as many naps as you used to, or, you know, you won't be as exhausted as you used to. So be aware of that. But that first 2 weeks while you detox, you're probably going to be more sleepy too. So just be aware of that. And yeah. Just a little fun fact, I've been running into a lot of monks lately. That's another thing about, you know, that frequency. I've been running into a lot of monks lately. I had a monk get a lift with me because he had to make it somewhere and whatnot. And then I had a hardcore meditator. I wouldn't call him a monk per se, but you know, I had a talk with him. And then at the vegan fest that I failed to upload the video for. Sorry, I was just going through a lot, but maybe I'll add that one day. But my boyfriend, a monk, engaged in conversation with him while I was off trying to get some food somewhere, and he called me over and he was like giving us free meditation books. So I'm reading one of them now. So hopefully I'm lightly reading it though, because I'm also listening to an audiobook that I want to finish, because this one is changing the game for me. It's like it's a wrap from this point on. After listening to this audiobook, I'm gonna do a video about this one. But yeah, I've been running into a lot of monks, and you know, it's just crazy because meditation is what I've been focusing on, and bettering myself is what I've been focusing on, and they have brought so much perspective and enlightenment for me, and some sort of validation, because they have ensured me that I'm doing the correct thing, or I'm at least going in the right way. So that has given me the confidence to share my experiences with you, and I hope you guys can take this and, you know, make it yours. Get the book Stress Less, Accomplish More, Emily Fletcher, and, you know, just become better people. That's my whole thing. Like, better yourself so you can better the world. That's it. That's what I want to do. I want to help everybody that I can. So, you know, if you meditate and it does well for you, put a comment below. Don't be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This video is already over 30 minutes long, so I'm not going to get into too much detail about my background stuff, but things that I've been working on in the background. But be on the lookout, because I'm extremely excited. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my skin looks pretty good right now. That's that happiness. That's that meditation. Yep. All right, y'all have a great one. I'm about to get back to this and go get my nails done before the shop gets busy. Ciao.